morning. Sun. Thank goodness for the sun. All right, so I am here. Let me try to come out a little bit. Okay, so I'm here at Pony Coffee. It's a coffee shop in Tulsa, and it's rather new, but it's extremely new for me, and I wanted to come and try it as I'm sending out some emails and doing just some of the journalism stuff I've got going on right now. So come with me. So the funny part is that we're both taking it in together. So cute. All right, so I moved upstairs just so I can film this because they're playing music way louder downstairs than up here, and I didn't want to have that inside of this. Today I am doing a few things here at Pony. I love this entire cafe. It's so cute. It's so my style, so vintagey, so chill vibey. So today a few very important things need to happen. Number one, I need to edit this vlog. Number two, I'm gonna start this book. It's called The Story Factor. This is really just a study for me. And I heard about this book because it helps to develop my storytelling. It says inspiration, influence, and persuasion to the art of storytelling. And I want to develop my storytelling skill set with this new season that I'm in with my writing, but also with my reporting on different things that are happening in the community and things of that nature. And so I'm really excited to read this. It's gonna be a slow read. It's not gonna be like how I read like my fantasy books and everything, because I really want to study the material in this book. So this is going to be my first time trying this out. Good morning. So I'll let you guys know a little bit about it as I'm kind of reading through it and the things that kind of stick out to me. The thing with my storytelling and like my interviews that I do is that like so the process of storytelling is an art form. And because it is an art form, like it has its own like creative process, but I think the process is pretty fluid, though there are definitely things that have the same theme regardless of what kind of story I'm doing or pitching. And I want to get better with being able to tell a story, especially like at any given moment. So what I foresee happening, because one of the things that I want to do is align with some of the media in this area, what I want to be able to do is to report on story without much resistance to how I frame the story. Like, of course, you always have like writer's block, things like that, like the normal stuff. But I think right now, because I've been away from it for so long, I've kind of lost that skill to do it as fast as I was before. So I'm regaining that skill, but I want to now do it in a way that's more colorful. Like I can't think of another word except for colorful. Like I really want to color with this art form of storytelling. I want it to really, okay, I'm stumbling off my words, but no matter what story I'm writing, I want it to have color in such a way where like people can intrinsically feel and see what I am writing. And I want that so badly. Like, I want this so badly. And I think one of the reasons why I really want it is because of my fantasy books, because I'm a fantasy girly. And my fantasy books are so colorful in their language, and I love that. Like, I am that much more intrigued by the story because of the language and how colorful and how, you know, the characters in these books, like, we're able to take our time with them and learn them and feel and see them. And that's what I want through my writing, my reporting, my interviewing, especially because I'm an interviewer through and through. Like, interviewing is what my destiny is. Like, that I know is my thing. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll talk more about like what I've gathered, what I've read a little later on. But as far as fantasy reading, so I finished I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons, because that was like an in-between book because I'm in the middle of like 2 or 3 series. Don't judge me, don't come for me. But I'm reading Air Fire. When I tell you, like, I told myself I did not want a summer full of anxiety. That's what I told myself. That's what I told myself, right? I hate saying right. I say that a lot. Okay. I told myself I did not want to have any kind of anxiety this summer. But I had to do it. I had to do it. And I was supposed to read Shadow of Night because I'm in the middle of the All Souls series. But this got me. It has me on edge right now. And Selena, Kale, I am Dorian needs to be somewhere locked away in a closet. He needs to go on vacation until he gets his magic under control. Because in the second his father's going to piss him off and he's not going to be able to control it. He needs to control this thing. And I don't know why he's not like lying to his father and saying like, hey, I need to go do something just so he can control this, because what's happening with him is crazy. I'm getting text messages on my phone, and I pray to God that it's not, the alerts aren't like you can hear them through the video. But so I'm going to read this. I'm going to study this book, write some really good notes, drink my coffee. I got a Costa Rican coffee. They have really cute mugs here. Love that for me. And that's gonna be my day today. So that's what we're doing. How are you guys? What kind of art form are we doing? No. So we have moved places because the Pony Cafe, they don't actually have like food. So we've moved locations. So I'm in the first section of the story factor, and I'm really gonna be reading this book like section by section so I can just digest everything, you know, properly. Is it shaking a lot? I want to really take in what I'm reading here. So the first section is called Trust Me, and at first I was very apprehensive about this section because when it comes to storytelling, especially my style of storytelling, I'm not trying to manipulate. Like, I don't like the idea of trying to force someone into like trying to like trust me. I feel like it's a very westernized way of being and thinking. So I was kind of apprehensive about this title. And I was like, oh God, this may not have been the right book for me. But I kept reading. You know, I gave it a chance. I kept reading. And basically what this section says is that it's not about trying to manipulate someone into trust. It's about getting someone to draw their own conclusion about your personal faith in something, and if trust in your opinion is what you want, you do that through story. So for instance, and this is such as like a line, like a strange balance, because like I said, like I'm not trying to manipulate someone into what I think and to agree with me, but it is to consider, like the things that I pose, it is to consider what I have said. So case in point, I did an interview that I'll put on the screen here with a youth expert about burnout. And my goal wasn't for people to like trust that I know burnout, trust my story about burnout. Like it wasn't that. It was just to say like what my experience with burnout is. And when I go to research, when I go to the professionals, here's what they say about the characteristics of burnout. And I just find it super intriguing. You might too if you're someone who's gone through burnout. Yeah. So within this section, they talk a lot about faith, that people want faith. They are looking to gain some sort of faith in you to trust you. And it says that story is your path to creating faith. And there's not a lot of evidence, as the author has expressed, that just by you simply saying things like, I can be a trusted journalist. Like, I'm a trusted journalist, you guys, that's who I am. Instead of me saying that, what if I can provide a story that basically backs that up, because people can relate to that and not, oh, trust me, just because you should. And there was something in here that it said like, oh, that when you try to announce that, hey, I'm a good journalist or I'm a good person, you activate suspicion. You don't activate trust. And that's interesting, because I've felt like that in a lot of scenarios when I've gone to like discussions and panelist stuff or whatever. When someone says or something, I'm automatically on the defense versus like believing what they're saying. Announcing you're a thing is not the way to go, but explaining who you are through story helps to confirm who you are. And I guess like maybe I'm looking at trust the wrong way, because it just seems like a way to manipulate people. Oh God, I don't know. My thinking might be skewed, let me know. But I think that trust and being on a defense when it comes to like human nature and human beings is very natural. And I don't quite know what I'm trying to get people to like trust in when it comes to me and like my journalism. So that's something that I like have to keep figuring out, because I'm not quite sure yet. The other part of the section I thought was really interesting. It says that there are 6 types of stories that will serve you well in your efforts to influence people. And it's 1, who am I stories, why I am here stories, the vision story, the teaching stories, values and action stories, I know what you are thinking stories. So 6 of them. And I think the author will then make a few sections about those stories. So we shall see. So now that I've kind of read and marked up some of the information in here, I'm just going to journal a little bit and kind of sort through my thoughts and just make some observations for myself, and kind of think through even the story that I'm writing or getting ready to write and shoot now. Oh wait, let me fix my hair. You can't even see how cute my little headband is with all this hair, which I guess is a good problem. So the story that I'm actually working on, I want to write it and I want to film it too, but it's about surrendering to fear. And when I think about this and how like that idea of sharing faith, and why, like what about my faith and the fear of surrendering, like how do those like coincide with each other for the story that I'm currently working on. Yeah, I think that's something I'm also gonna like write about too, because I think that'll help me think about what the answer to that is. Because right now I couldn't articulate it right now. We got some discovering to do, and what better way to discover than to write? I love it. Oh my God, my lips are ashy. Anyways, let's get to it. When I first started out as a writer when I was in Ohio, way before I moved to Oklahoma, I had a lot of trouble writing in an unbiased manner. Because like I wasn't writing like news stories. I was writing more so blog style writing and a little bit of journalism if it was someone I was featuring or anything like that. And my editor, she was like, your goal isn't to try to like make people think exactly what you think, but rather to express the story, express, the observations that you've made and things of that nature. I just had such a hard time with that. I had really a hard time with that. I think maybe in my writing I was too busy trying to convince or something. I couldn't remember exactly everything that we had talked about when she would edit my pieces, but I just remember wanting to be more objective in my style of writing. And so one of the interesting quotes here is that the author says, "People value their own conclusions more highly than yours. They will only have faith in story that has become real for them personally. Once people make your story their story, you have tapped into the powerful force of faith," which is why objective writing, depending on what you're writing about, is why this matters. So, and I say that as a caveat because if you're writing about your own personal experience on something, like it's going to be extremely biased. Like there's no way to decipher that. But if you are writing and you're talking about someone or an event that happened, it's more objective than that in that way if it's like journalistic writing. This is very interesting to say the least. Within my interviews, within my writing pieces, I want to have more of an openness in what I'm talking about and how and what I'm talking about through how I'm talking about it. And for me, that can be difficult because within my own convictions, I get super passionate. And I find myself having to self-correct a lot of times. So, and when I say convictions, I'm talking about like the things that we really, really, really believe in, like to our core, right? Because I hate to say that. The things that we believe in to our core because of an experience, especially so our convictions are like the things that we truly, truly believe in, like having hope, being patient, things of that nature. To get questions about our own convictions, we get passionate. And as someone who's interviewing someone, if I share the same conviction that my guest shares, I don't want to limit my space to just say, oh, you believe in what you believe in, I believe in what I believe in, we believe together, and then I limit the space in that way. Like I want the space to remain open so that people feel welcome to the conversation and not like they're an outsider, basically. Okay, so I'm editing this burnout video and also noticing how dirty my computer looks. But anyways, I'm editing this burnout reel. I'm so excited about it. I really hope it comes out exactly how my mind kind of pictures it. Like this is my first attempt at doing a little bit more production for my reels on my journalist page. Not my cozy journalist page, but my Vanessa Michelle TV page. So we're gonna see how this turns out. So my phone is actually going to die pretty soon, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thanks for hanging out with me and like in real time going through my thought process when it comes to my writing and where I want to take my journalism this time around. I'm basically just playing around with different ideas, different concepts, and just trying to have like a solid foundation. Like I want a more solid foundation than I did the last time I was doing my journalism, and I feel like I'm going to get there slowly but surely. So you guys are on the journey with me, and I appreciate that. Bye.